Hello everyone, welcome back to the James A channel. Today is my 10-minute review of Lux, and I've got to admit, this is quite an interesting one. There's a lot to cover, so let's just get straight into it. But I'm going to say I didn't write a script or anything for this, I've just watched it, and I'm going straight in because it's, it was a fascinating watch, for good and bad reasons. I think the easiest way of going into this is we'll just go from the start. And we have a scene where there's just people watching a film in a cinema, and this animated character, Mr. Ring-a-Ding, comes along. Meanwhile, this light comes through the sky, and all of a sudden, it goes into the screen. Mr. Ring-a-Ding, he's alive, terrorizing everyone, going to the title sequence. That's all really good. In the TARDIS, we then have the Doctor and Belinda, and we're learning a bit more about the situation with not being able to go back to May 24th. That's all good. During this scene, we can hear Amy's theme from Series 5. Now, it was quite interesting, because I knew going into this that there would be music from Series 5, and a couple of times in this story, there's music from Series 5. I don't quite know why, but it's a nice enough touch. They arrive in 1952 Miami, which is where the film was being shown. But hang on, the cinema is closed, and the police have closed it. So they go to the diner across the road and begin learning a bit more. And they meet a mother who lost her son there, because a bunch of people disappeared, and that's presumably because of what happened with Mr. Ring-a-Ding at the start. It's also I think quite well handled, the sort of segregation aspect with the Doctor explaining to Belinda. I thought that was a nice touch, especially because sort of the last time he was in 1950s America was as Jodie Whittaker, and she was having to witness the sort of segregation with Rosa Parks. So for the Doctor to sort of return and actually be the one experiencing segregation, it's quite a good an interesting thing to handle, and I thought they did it well. The Doctor and Belinda, they go across and they start investigating in the theatre. This leads to them meeting Mr. Pye, who is sort of working for Mr. Ring-a-Ding. He's a bit like, what's his name in The Idiot's Lantern? In The Idiot's Lantern, actually, Mr. Magpie. I've just thought, Mr. Magpie working for the Wire, Mr. Pye working for the what's he called, Mr. Ring-a-Ding, so maybe there's a slight reference there, I don't know. But Mr. Ring-a-Ding turns out to be the god of light. So we've got another god added to the series, and I think he's good, potentially maybe not as good as, I think I really did like the Maestro. I thought it was very good. And the Toy Maker was obviously very good. But what helps is those actual people that are acting. So I think Alan Cumming does a very good job. But he's never going to be as good as those actual actors that we see. But yes, Alan Cumming, he is voicing an animated character. And I think the animation side of this is really interesting to talk about, because it's a unique concept. And it's kind of interesting that Doctor Who's never done it before. I think now is the right time to do it, with the special effects looking really amazing. But it's not just taking a good idea with the animation that works well. It's the fact that they are really innovative with it. There's the scene where Mr. Pye is reunited with his wife from the old films, and as she dances with him, you can see like the film grain on her, and that slowly transitions out, and she's looks normal. So it's really cleverly integrated, I think, the animation side of things. The Doctor and Belinda, then after another confrontation with Mr. Ring-a-Ding, get projected into the animated world, and they slowly have to get out of it. And initially what they do is, Belinda realizes that by adding layers to her character literally has layers, and it's no longer two-dimensional. Ironic that she's the one who realizes you need layers not to be two-dimensional, or not shooting out was the 15th Doctor. He couldn't possibly realize that you need emotions to do well, but no, I'm only joking. He knows how to do the emotions very well. I'm surprised he didn't just cry in that scene. He would have instantly gone back to his normal self. But yeah, I mean, again, it's done well. It's a neat idea, and I think this is the perfect era to try and do something like that. It wouldn't have worked, 20, 30 years ago. As they begin to get themselves out of the film, this leads into a scene where they meet the mother, and she's with a police officer, and she's suddenly acting very strangely, accusing the doctor of being involved with her son's disappearance. And yeah, the doctor sort of sees through this. He realizes that's also part of the film. So him and Belinda keep going, and suddenly they're in this white sort of void. And they approach the screen, as viewers. It's interesting the way that's done. And this is where we get to a moment in time, I'll say, as they knock over the screen of the frame that they were in, and they walk out, but they're not in the cinema. They are in a TV room. And there's fans in this TV room of a certain TV show wearing a shirt with Talos on it. Someone wearing the Fourth Doctor scarf. Now, I would argue this is probably, and I'm trying not to sound too negative about it, because initially when I was sort of thinking how to do this video, I had a lot of negative thoughts around it. Without spoiling my overall thoughts, it's a very good story that is tainted by essentially the fourth wall breaking. It's unforgivable in my eyes. I think it is terrible. Yeah, those scenes with the Doctor and the fans, even if maybe none of it was ever real, you just imagine showing William Hartnell that in his first season of the show, or actually when he was being replaced by Troughton. Imagine Hartnell thinking, oh, where's the show going to go when I leave? Imagine just showing them that. Oh, look, the Doctor's interacting with his fans. How would he react? You know, it is appalling. And it's a shame, because I think the episode is really good. But yes, like I said, and I could talk about that scene for an hour, but I'm not going to, because I think that would be unfair. Look, it's not good, and oh well. Let's just act like it didn't happen. Unfortunately, I think it will have relevance to the wider story arc, what with Mrs. Flood constantly referencing all this sort of stuff with the Doctor and looking at the screen when she's saying it. So unfortunately, that's probably not the end of that. But if we continue with the story, the Doctor is told that they're not actually real, and he continues on. And there's all this stuff with him and Belinda escaping the film, and he burns his hand, and apparently he can just use his bi-generation energy to heal it. I mean, that's just stupid. The worst we ever got was the 10th Doctor healing his chopped off hand with the Sycorax leader in that fight, because 24 hours after regeneration you can heal. That wasn't great, but at least it had relevance going into the Series 4 finale. And actually, it even was tied into with his regeneration in the End of Time, when he does that and all the scars go away. But yeah, here it's just random. And Mr. Ring-a-Ding starts extracting all the sort of regeneration force from the Doctor. To be perfectly honest, when we get to the ending, by this point I was just so shocked about what happened with the 15th Doctor and his fans. I don't even remember what happened, but the day is saved. We see Mrs. Flood again, and we go into the title sequence, and then it pans away, and we see the fans saying, oh, I'd give it a 7 out of 10, oh, I'd do that, oh, it's just shit. But, oh, you know, it was a case of saying that it was a blemish on the episode, rather than something that completely ruined it. For some people, it will ruin it. For some people, it will make it better. I think that scene I'm not a fan of, but I decided that I should be fair when reviewing it, and it wouldn't be fair to knock a story down because of that scene with the fourth wall breaking in the 15th Doctor. Because actually, the production is really good. I think the sort of sound design with Mr. Ring-a-Ding, all the noises that he makes is really clever. The lighting is good. And actually, going back to Murray Gold, the Series 5 thing, A Sad Man with a Box, it's not even a variation of it. That theme is literally just being copy and pasted into that scene with the Doctor talking to the fans. So that's really bizarre. But yeah, it's just, forget about it. Looking at the trailer for The Well, maybe the Midnight Entity is returning. So I really need to get a move on the What is the Midnight Entity video, but that's going to be very quickly outdated. Shame I put all that effort into it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. I think it might be quite divisive. But thank you for watching, and I will see you later.